Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another video of resin crafting. This video today I'm making galaxy inspired coasters. So for this part here, I'm using some glitter. It's like a silvery kind of holographic glitter I got in a little kit from Michaels. Come with some other metallic powders. I just kind of pushed them down into the mold so they wouldn't float around, but didn't really have a problem with that. And then this is the first time I'm using Let's Resin's mica flakes, the chameleon flakes, which I've learned are very different from the powder. I like them. You'll see here in a moment though that they really catch any sort of air, so I had an AC unit behind me. I'm working in a little small room, and it started just blowing everywhere. Yep, just all over, and by the time I'm done, my entire silicone mat is just covered. But that's all right because it gave a nice end result. I did use 3 different colors. I used fuchsia, blue, and green. And this idea was actually inspired by a Miss Mary McIntyre, Special Effects Arts and Crafts, and I will link her channel in the description. But I was looking for a galaxy-inspired design and didn't really know how to pull it off. And when I found her video, she made it look so easy. So she used mica powder in her video, and I bought the flakes on accident, but like I said, I like the way it came out. So here I'm just putting the colors down randomly, just kind of blobbing them out. I'm looking forward to using these inside a skull mold that I have, because they do paint on nicely. They don't go as far as powders. You have to use a little bit more, but they make a really cool result. For the coaster storage container, I initially was going to paint, but then I realized that the flakes weren't going to run down, most likely into the bottom part, or more when you flip it over the top part. So I ended up just mixing the mica flakes into the resin, which I learned does not color the resin like powder, so I was learning along the way. So here I had switched between my phone and a different camera and forgot to hit play or record until I was almost finished pouring the black epoxy resin. Another lesson is that the Let's Resin black pigment goes a long way. I used a ton and I just had black ink everywhere. Yes, I used the fuchsia chameleon flakes, mixed those in. As you see, I have 2 different colored gloves on. That is a throwback to the black ink just being everywhere, so I had to switch out. For this project, these molds came from Etsy. They came in a set with the 4 coasters and the storage container, and they also came with a set of square coasters and a container for those. And as you can see in the picture as well, I'm using craft resin, and it does not have a heavy smell, and it works really well. I don't have any complaints with it. Spray in the isopropyl alcohol to help with bubbles. And then because the mica flakes, or excuse me, the chameleon flakes didn't produce the color in the resin as I was expecting, I just dropped some alcohol inks into the storage container. I used grape and sapphire. And I like these coasters because they don't use a ton of resin. They're very thin. So once I do get around to it, I'm going to look for the cork boards, the little backing that you can put on the back of them. And then that will give them a little bit more width. They'll look good. Yep, see, there's my colors, grape and sapphire. Just poured a little bit more in there. Let those spread out some. And then here I am the next day, ready to demold, excuse me. These came out of the mold very easily. And I was pretty pleased with how they came out. I was surprised they came out as good as they did. They shine really nicely in the light. Now this mold, I did have to fight with it a little bit, and it was still a little soft, so it deformed just a bit, but then it popped right back into the shape it was supposed to be in after I got it out. I managed to cut my thumb on it later as well, so you'll see in the next segment that I have a band-aid. And that one came out pretty good. Sparkly, shiny, nice colors. And you see how they all fit in there nicely. This was later on in the day. I used UV resin to coat the top of them, make them a little extra shiny, and also to kind of cover up some of the bubbles that had came up. This is the first time I've used UV resin to put a top coat on anything, and I learned that it was very tedious, slowly spreading it out, getting it to all the edges, and I kept bending down and looking and seeing spots that I'd missed. Alright, that's it for today's video. I thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.